Welcome to the channel. This is the Rezik family. I am Alex.
I'm London.
Today we are talking about some hard truths, 3 to be exact, about our faith and the struggles with our faith as new parents. And so I think that everyone wants to put on this mask that they're always strong in faith all the time. And I think we all know that's not true, and we have struggles. And ours was being new parents. And I think there was 3 things that really hurt us as we became new parents that we thought we would share with you. So if you're a new parent, you know that you're not alone. And it's a normal thing that other people go through. And if you're not a parent yet, there's things you can think about and talk about with your significant other. So the first one that I think was the biggest one for us was being connected with a church. And what I mean by that is once you have a kid, it becomes very hard to do some of the things you may have done previously. So for London, I think her hardest thing was Bible study because she takes the kid with them and she starts to get distracted because the kid can't really dive into the word. And for us in general, it was very hard to go to church on Sunday because Mika would go and then she would interact with the kids, and there was no fault to the church. They would clean everything,
No, they
but
said
she's
they sanitize.
yeah, they say they sanitize, and I believe they did, but she's not used to being around that many kids because she's fairly young, and so she gets sick. And then she's sick for 5 days, and she's finally better, and now it's time for church. And then Satan starts creeping in and say, "Do you want to do another 5 days of being sick?" And we start to tell ourselves, "No, we really don't want to do that." And so we found ourselves not going and watching online just because we were tired of Mika being sick all week. And so that's something I think was our number one issue. If you have anything to add on top of that.
Well, I just was thinking of like Mika would get sick and then I would get sick. And then sometimes Alex would get
Yes.
sick. And so it wasn't just one 5-day thing. It was like some of those months. And so we started going to this church in the new year. We were like, okay, we're going to go consistently because like we were doing online or jumping around a lot of different churches. And so anyway, we found a local church that we loved. And yeah, we were like, we're going to go consistently in the new year. And it was, I mean, those first like 4 months, I mean, I know it's January to April, so people get sick, you know?
It was definitely hard.
But yeah, it was exhausting. But yeah, pushing through. Well, that's our goal with moving and
Got to
where we
push
go
through.
next.
You got to go to church. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our second thing is morning routine. I think that me personally, I'm really big on my morning routine, and so it's really important to me to touch base with God right off the rip, and I know London is too. And when you're pulling all-nighters, it's just so hard. It's so hard to wake up in the morning, still take the time to read and do your prayer. And some of the times, even when you want to wake up, say you want to wake up at 6 or you want to wake up at 5, she's up too, you know? And then you're trying to read, and everyone knows when you got a baby, it's so hard to do anything and stay focused.
Yeah, it was exhausting, I remember. And then there were definitely times that I made excuses, plenty of them, where like I could just cut an hour, you know? Like my sleep was so sacred to me.
Yeah.
But what I've realized too with having 2 now with Sonny and kind of going through the same thing with him this year is like just bringing him out with me. And he'll crawl around and probably distract me and, you know, but trying to fit that in. And if I can't fit it in, you know, finding little things, praise, you know, worship music or just praying as I go through my day. And so.
Yeah, definitely. I think harder on London than I because I had my routine going to work, and I could, at worst case, on my drive to work, could pray and talk to him. So I think it was definitely a hard struggle for you being the mom with her all the time. And then the third thing that I think is something that happens to people who aren't even parents, but definitely parents, not just as new parents, but throughout the whole process, is not being able to bear witness because you're on auto drive. And what I mean by that is it's important every day to bear witness. It's important to stop, think about Jesus, think about God, pray to him, say thank you for this day, or talk to him and say, I'm having trouble with this. Can you help me with this? And that's not really bearing witness. That's just talking with God and being present with God and noticing his presence, but then bearing witness is taking the time to vocalize it to someone you love or someone in your community or someone at work and just remind, you know, always trying to bring one more into his kingdom. And that's a very purposeful, intentional thing you do. And so when you're on auto drive, you don't think about it. And my best explanation of auto drive is anyone who works. You'll pray in the morning. You'll say, God, I want to be thinking about you all day. And then the next time you think about him is on your way home because you just, once you get locked in at work, all you're thinking about is the next task. And the problem with children, especially as new parents, we're still figuring things out. They become very, what's this task, this task, this task. So at home, even, you come home and you're immediately starting the next thing. And so you have long nights. You wake up in the morning, you're already on go with the kid. Maybe you have work, or maybe you're staying home, on go with the kid all day. And then until nighttime, you're just, your brain, you're not thinking, you're just on autopilot, just boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what helped you in this past year is like setting that new habits. You could probably dive into that
Oh,
more,
yeah.
but and that was it was a simple habit reminder of like bear witness, like
Yeah.
something so simple. And that's not the same for me, but like I've done something similar of like the gratitude or how can I serve God every day in the little things. And those little reminders that you can hold on to throughout the day to try to like, whether it's pouring into our own kids and or just having that relationship with God individually or going out and sharing the gospel. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely having some type of checklist. I have a habit tracker that I have for daily as well as weekly and monthly, and I go on and it says bear witness. And every day I have to try to do something. And you never know what that's going to do. Some days it's just me saying "Have a blessed day" to the cashier instead of saying "Thank you." Not big, but I check that. I check that box every time. I'm like, I bear witness today. Big things happening at the Resnick family. But then sometimes it's sitting down with someone and saying something a little bit more impactful. But it's hard to do any of those things when you're on autopilot, and I think that's what happens when you're a new parent.
Yeah.
And so those are three of the things we suffered through and we grew. And I think we're identifying it and naming it so that we can continue to grow in it. And we're also identifying it and naming it so that if you too face this, you know you're not alone. And if you haven't faced it yet, you know that if you do, it's normal and that you just have to kind of keep pushing and remind yourself. And so, like you mentioned, having reminders, reminding yourself of Him and thanking Him and trying to grow closer with Him will, in the end, get you through that valley of struggles through faith.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There's and whatever it works differently for everyone, whether it's like worship music throughout the day, prayer life, that's huge. Community, good
Yeah.
good friendships that can encourage you, pray with you. So yeah.
Absolutely. So if you liked our video, please like and subscribe. We have more content like this. So if you're a man of God, you can check out my Men on Mission series. If you're a woman of God, one is about to open up her own series. So please continue, check out some of our other series, and just keep watching if you like what we had to say.
And comment down below if there's anything that have helped you with these struggles or any struggles that you've had
That's right.
parenting and faith. So
And so that I can check my box of bearing witness today, have a blessed day.